Welcome to the Fandom Outpost, your podcast for all things pop culture.
Hey everyone, welcome to a special edition of the Fandom Outpost. As always, I'm 1/3 your host. I am Mark.
I'm Jim.
I'm Bob. Hi everybody for this special weeknight recording, which is unusual for us.
Yeah, it is.
But we felt an urge to do it because of the content.
Bags under my eyes. Do I have the bags on? So, yeah, we don't do. This is a cool one though, because it really is. I would consider this a real special edition. Remember that CBS movie night where like
Special.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. We're like, breaking news, everybody. We have a special edition coming in. That's what this feels like. And actually, it was your idea, Bob, I think, to do this because we were so impressed by something. So we
kind of texted about it. We're like, hey, did you see the trailer for the new Salem's Lot? And I know you're a super fan. And I was like, I don't know if he's going to like it.
And then surprisingly, I did.
And I'm like, oh, then let's jump on this.
We should talk about that. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell a quick story then, because my wife, who was on the couch right next to me, the lovely Nikki, I was like, oh, and I didn't know the trailer dropped. Like, I was like that oblivious just because I was like, yeah, if it ever comes out, it'd be a fucking miracle. That's how I felt. And all of a sudden we get a trailer. I saw stills, but then we got the trailer. And
on our Facebook page, the Fandom Outpost Facebook page, if you want to check it out, we had pictures, some stills, and we kind of were bantering a little bit about, I don't know about this.
Yeah, and I just kept doing that. So I put that bitch on loud and turned it on, and I was like, all right, let me turn lights down and stuff. And so she was doing something, looking down, and I knew she was going to look up. She was going to watch it. But then I went, oh my God. And she put her head right back in her book or whatever. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm good. If it got you, she's like, I don't need to watch it.
She's not a scary movie fan.
Yeah, she is not. So I was like, let me tell you what happened. She's like, no, I'm good. I'll wait. So I was like, maybe they're onto something here. So
I played it at home for my wife, and I'm like, check this out. And she dug it. So I was like, okay, cool. And then we're looking forward to it.
Oh,
yeah, maybe,
I showed it I showed it to Sherry, and she was like, she was like, it's like The Mist meets something else, and I was like, that's fair criticism.
Yeah,
that's funny because
it's from the guys from it. So
yeah, that's funny. So
having seen it a couple times now, I'm a little warmer to it. So
yeah, me too. I gotta quit watching it though. Like it's having
because it's showing all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah,
well, let's watch it one more time.
Okay.
We're going to watch it together, maybe comment a little bit as we watch, and then finish our reaction afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Roll that beautiful bean footage, Bob.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Let me make sure I got it going here.
Anybody even know where that's from?
Yeah.
I've always written stories about things that are so terrible. You'll run away so your brain won't remember.
Oh!
I just noticed that.
So why did you come back?
I'm here for research.
What exactly, though, are you researching?
This song grabbed me from the second I heard it.
Yes, that's what Bob said. He was like, that song grabbed him.
Out of the ordinary in the lot recently.
I was just like, oh, man.
There are some folks who've had some kind of unusual experiences.
Annoying.
They used to tell us stories about this place.
You have no idea what you're getting yourself into here.
Daddy, where are you?
Hell no.
That's the only part.
This is not a disease you can catch.
Let me in.
for us eventually.
Things have gone bad in the lot now.
It's not safe!
Great job.
Oh yeah, October 3rd.
Let me stop that.
All right, so we have to give $1 million raise to the person that paired that song with that
Oh my
trailer.
God.
I hope it's in the movie.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
right.
I
Maybe just the trailer. Yeah.
I never thought of that song as a vampire type thing,
No.
and it just
And
like,
now you're
fits
going,
so good.
how did I never think of that song as a vampire song?
Exactly.
Right? So
That's crazy, man.
how have we gone this
Nikki's
long
like,
without it being
yeah, it's in my
used?
Spotify, and it comes around all the time. She's like, I hate that song. Then she heard it, and she was like, as soon as it came up, those field bars, she was like, oh, hell no. I was like, yeah, that's good marketing right there, man. That was great. Oh, I found myself catching my breath on that. That was pretty entertaining.
The only part that has me a little worried is the voice modulation on the body in the morgue. It's like a little too.
I wonder if they're doing that. I wonder if that's the trailer.
I was hoping
You know
it
what I
was
mean?
just a trailer, you know.
So
Got it.
anyway, thoughts? Anyone want to go?
So everybody saw the vampire behind the guy when he was closing the window, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw
The
that.
kid in the treehouse.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's that when the guy was doing this, and
The
he
old man was
know,
closing the window.
yeah, closing the
Oh.
window and stuff like that.
Yeah, in the
So,
back. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the treehouse one is the one that the story I just told. It was a treehouse. I was like, damn, they coming out the gate swinging.
I just caught that today. That I had the vampire child,
Yeah.
coming around the side of the treehouse. I was just like,
And if anybody knows that I mean, of course, I'm a huge fan, but we're huge fans of the Toby Hooper classic,
Right.
which
That's
was
why we're even having this discussion.
And that was his own interpretation back in the day too. So it's not as novel
Faithful.
accurate, but we liked it, and it was an atmosphere and a slow burn. So, and I was just looking up that time. So I think that they're going to give us what's the word? Like, I think they're going to get right into it. Like, you're going to get some build up, but I don't think you're going to have to wait for a lot. That's my opinion. I think they'll get us into it right away. They'll hook us.
Well,
sink
unlike
their
the Toby,
fangs into us.
unlike the Toby Hooper one, which was over 2 nights, this is just one movie.
Right.
yeah.
So
On HBO Max. Yeah.
on
Max.
HBO
Right.
Max.
I'm going to be super disappointed if it's really good and it didn't get a theatrical release in October.
I know. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, that'll be a tough one.
Well, we've gone the gambit from a year ago. Seeing Mark, I think you saw like something in a bookstore that was like, wasn't it advertising it coming out or?
Well, yeah, it was that new the cover,
the new edition,
to the novel. Yeah. And I
then
was
it
like, holy cow!
And then it disappeared.
Yeah.
And then we were wondering. Then I've heard everything from it was horrible, and there was all kinds of reshoots
Right.
to it's a gem, and then they thought, hey, this is going to be our ace in the hole to get people to come stream over at Max.
Right.
And of course, Stephen King says he loves it, but we've all seen the things that Stephen King loves, and they're not all great, and he's got a vested interest into loving it. So
Yeah, of course. I always said, though, this is the unfortunate part. I'll just put it out there again. I always said that if somebody's going to do it, they should remake the Toby Hooper movie, not the novel. The novel was Stephen King's adaptation. It was his version of Dracula in modern times, he said. That's how he explains it. So, it's a very normal type of atmospheric vampire novel. So, but I don't see that in the trailer. Like, it looks like, what is it? Glauberman? Is that how you say his name?
The director?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dauberman?
Dauberman? Yeah, sorry about my mispronunciation. But it does look like either him or the producers or whoever was like, well, let's give it our own spin. Like, we'll we'll take it, and I'm not saying make a news story, but we'll just spin certain things and stuff. So
Sure.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm really not, even though I am like that's the holy grail of vampire movies. Like, don't touch it. But I don't know. This looks fun.
What was the state of vampire movies when this came out, though? The book, because that seems to be the kind of bringing the vampire into a normal American
modern
town,
America,
society kind of thing, like an everyday,
right?
Vampire living every day.
Who did the 1970s Dracula? I can't remember his name. I love
the Frank Langella one.
That one, yeah, that was about what you got when the novel came out. So
yeah, so
and people like that movie.
Yeah, it's at that time we had Langella Dracula, we had Love at First Bite, we had that going on. That was
oh my god,
right? You had more of the tongue in cheek stuff.
In the 70s, they kind of brought Dracula. The Hammer films had one of those that was Dracula AD,
yeah.
So,
right? Which was that Christopher Lee?
Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing was a descendant of Van Helsing. So
right, and that was kind of it. Like,
but everything is usually on foreign soil, not America.
Yeah. Right.
So it's interesting to see, looking back in the context of things, how it changed kind of the landscape of vampire movies. I would think.
Right.
It seems to have.
I'm assuming the scene with the guy holding the cross glowing and the dude whipping into the dark, it's got to be the teacher, with the infamous "look at me, teacher."
Right.
So I love that. I like something about that visual. To me, is like presenting that holy cross to them, and it glows in their presence, like Sting from The Hobbit. God, I love that visual, and the fact that he's like, I don't know if there's dialogue or not, but it seems to me that with the sundown over it, there might be dialogue that we get to see, but beating that dude's ass, so he's got to go out the doorway. That's really cool to me. That's a great visual, man. I was hyped on that thing.
Yeah, there's some good visual. I mean, this director did the two It movies, Annabelle, The Nun, and Nun Part 1 and 2, I believe. So he definitely has a little pedigree with the horror stuff. So
right. Well,
it looks interesting.
Back in the
visually
day, everybody knows the name James Wan. He kind of ushered in this modern horror, like those movies that you said, like the modern, I don't know,
Conjuring universe.
Yeah, that kind of thing, all that. So he had a knack for scares and everything. And I'd heard originally when he was attached to it, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe. I wasn't a huge fan of the doll
Saw,
and stuff
I think,
like
as
that.
well.
That's a little, so he comes from a good pedigree, like Ryan just said. So, and then it was like, oh, he's not directing it. We give it to somebody else. So you always kind of wonder what happens during all that. You know what I mean? So, because you're hoping that somebody like that directs it. Then it's like, no, I'm just going to executive produce it. But when you see certain things, you wonder how much their hands are in it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, and I dig that. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Well,
Jim, what do you think?
I think our biggest linchpin is going to be Mr. Barlow, and what kind of Mr. Barlow that we get.
Yeah.
Do we get the non-accurate one that's behind Mark, which is super cool and looks like Nosferatu and is, terrified kids from the 70s forward? Or do we get the talking Mr. Barlow?
Right. In a sense, King's version of Dracula.
Right. Which was Rutger
Hauer
Hauer in the...
in the TV version.
The TV version with Rob Lowe, right?
With Rob Lowe, yeah.
From
it was
the
Rutger
90s,
Hauer,
early 2000s?
90s, I think, wasn't it? Or 90s?
Early 2000s?
Yeah, 2005, I think, or something like that, yeah. Just absolutely horrid movie, though. If you can ever find a copy. I mean, you can get a DVD, probably order it online or something, but it never streams anywhere. You never get to see it.
But
like nobody's taking responsibility for putting that thing on TV.
Things that they feel like they got right are the floating kid at the window. He looks really good.
It looks like dead on.
I like the eyes. The eyes on everybody look really good.
Yeah,
just real simple, really simple.
Yeah, I like that they're creatures.
Right.
Like they're not. And I know Twilight gets a bad rap, but they're not like Hey,
Oh, hey, look at me. I'm a
how are you?
vampire.
Yeah,
Right.
just like that. They look like they're still, on some level, they're monstrous, I guess,
They're a
right?
little
Is that the
feral.
word for it?
Right.
Yeah, so even if they're normal facial features with the glowing eyes and stuff like that is fantastic. Plus, whoever the cinematographer is, man, the
I do like the look, the greenish tint on everything,
Yeah.
the foggy night. I mean, I'm just ready to sit on my couch, make some popcorn, and get ready for Halloween. I'm totally into it, man. I
That's
just can't
kicking
wait.
it off too, so that's cool. It kicks
I'm
off the month of
totally
October.
hoping this
So,
right. I'm
yeah.
hoping it hope it brings the vibe, and I hope it has some
Looks
chills.
Looks appropriately 70s. Looks appropriately
Yep.
small town.
Yeah, I dig that too.
The Marston house looks great.
Bob, you kept talking about that scene where like he runs out and it's like it's not safe, and then he looks up and they're all in the buildings and stuff like
I
that.
expected
cool.
like someone to be standing when he turned back around, like one
Yeah, I
person.
did
But I didn't
too.
expect like everybody on the top of the building.
That's a great shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do have to say, because I mean Bob and I were talking about this last week, but like there's some nitpicks for me just because I'm not. One of the things that I loved about the novel that Bob obviously can back up right now is that him and Mark Petrie were, if you've ever read the novel, folks, you know that they're kind of they're not always the pseudo protagonists, but they're the ones that, it's like an older version and then a younger version and stuff.
Right.
So,
You could see that.
and
Especially,
they're on the run. They're the ones that are kind of, they figure it out and know stuff. So it looks like our version of Mark Petrie he knows stuff, which is great. I just don't know about the relationship that they would build between him and Ben Mears, so
right. He almost looks too young, almost.
Yeah, he does look young, but he looks like he's handling himself, which I dig. Like, I really like that. So
absolutely.
But I guess if I will say this, there's something about a novel or a movie, and I call it the Magnificent Seven rule, where if you have all these separate threads and then they come together and then they face the antagonist. There's something about that to me that is ultra cool. My whole life I've, gotten like, oh man, that was great. Holy shit, that was great. So I get that vibe when I see these characters, but I'm like, what are they going to do? Like, it's Susan and Father, oh my God. Wow. Sorry about that. Don't know the name, but yeah, Father Callahan, and then, Mark, and then Ben, it looks like. So it looks like they're going to kind of fight the menace and stuff. So when I saw that, especially standing in that cool looking Marston house shot, I was like, okay, that was that shot, by the way, that was on the book.
Right.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
They're in front of that book. And that was, damn, that got to be a year ago now, where I was like, what?
It's probably a collector's item, right?
Yeah. Bob had that one guy asking about Bob's copy on our
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah. Sorry. He was like, where'd you get that from? I collect all versions and stuff. And then I didn't see it. I was like, why is it not loading for it? And I saw it. I'm like, I've never seen that version either, Bob. So congratulations. You got a nice little one.
Just for me, the version that I always saw was the one with the black face on it.
Like the black cover?
Oh, the mask,
the black
with the
cover
little
with the
drip
mask
of
and the
blood.
little blood drop.
Yeah, that was
with the title on the back, I think.
Yeah, it was on the front. I think it was on the front.
No, it's on the front.
That was the one for
it was
the
like
longest
it was
time.
embossed.
That was it.
Yeah, that was the longest thing.
That was
I remember that being up at I want to say Thomas Books. Did I get that right, Mark? Where Mrs. Coleman used to work.
Oh my God, dude. Wow. What a name drop. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Well, I got lucky. I found the not ultra rare anymore, but at the time I got the paperback version of the TV once the TV show came out. So mine has the cover of that Barlow on there and stuff. But I have 3 different copies, so I can understand that one guy doing it. I've had all hard copy that came out maybe a couple of years ago. There's no dust jack or nothing. It was just like Barnes and Noble exclusive or BAM or whatever it is. So I have that, and I have one other version, I think. I've tried to look to get first printings, but they just, whoever's designing the dust jackets, they didn't do a very good job. So
it's like the town inside the O, right? For lot.
Yeah,
You
they
see,
just
like,
so let
try
somebody else
not to
take
give
a crack
try not
at
to
it.
give the story away, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
big question
you
will
gotta
be
you gotta be pretty much under a rock if you don't know what Salem's Lot is about by this time.
right.
I
The big
guess.
question will be if this movie, the greatest unresolved thing ever on the original miniseries was that it left it open ended for a series that we were robbed.
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
interesting.
Except for that horrific Return to Salem's Lot straight to video
Oh yeah, never
years
go.
later.
That
And
made
folks,
me.
don't even let your curiosity get to you. Don't go seek that out.
Yeah,
It's the worst movie ever.
there's
Holy
nothing
cow.
nothing to return to.
No, it wasn't. It's like
If
peaceful
you like Michael
community.
Moriarty and his style of
Yeah.
acting,
Yeah. And it's got the kids, so you thought like the
right? No, the
promotion
late,
is boy,
yeah.
talk about that's bad. Like you get the sense that those are the same characters. This is that.
Nope.
No, nope.
Well, the
I
Ben
had
Mears
to, so
the Ben Mears character is played by Lewis Pullman, who's Bill Pullman's son.
Oh, okay.
He's in Top Gun Maverick. He played that's kind of one of his current ones.
right.
He kind of played the dorky pilot with the glasses, the kind of the book smart guy.
Right.
So,
I remember him, yeah.
Yeah. So I was curious. I do like Bill Pullman. I wonder what he brings to the role. It should be interesting. He seems to.
I like that I guess we should say that it's kind of all unknowns. And that, I don't want to do that as a disrespect.
Yeah,
no,
but
but not. Yes, not. Nobody said, "Hey, let's put Chris Pratt in Salem's Lot."
Right.
Thank God. Right? No one said that. No disrespect to Chris Pratt, but you're a little oversaturated.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm laughing. I mean, it's a good
Pedro
example,
Pascal,
though.
or Pedro Pascal would have been all right.
He might have until Yoda rolled up, or that girl from Last of Us, or whatever. So bad jokes. I think the casting works for me.
Yeah,
I just
like
hope it's
going in fresh, right?
Yeah. I hope it. I'm actually okay with. Hey, here's the novel. Here's what you know. We're gonna throw all that into a container, and we're just gonna pull it out, and we're gonna give you our version. We're gonna give you our version.
Yeah,
so,
I'm okay with it being their version. It's been long enough.
Yeah, really long enough. 20 years, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised we haven't. The Shining was remade for TV, and
yep. Yeah. Well, for a while, the King stories were all showing up on TV, which, I don't know, he likes that format. So I guess it's pretty good. I just, again, man, if it is good and we miss that big screen opportunity, damn, it's gonna blow.
You talked going down a rabbit hole about Midnight Mass, Mark and I, and we're like how much we like that series on Netflix, and
and that was there was what, 8 parts to that or something like that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow burn, and but it paid off really well. It was a really enjoyable one.
It did.
Vampire series.
Yep. And I hope that we don't get Vampire of the Week. It's like, like, this person's killed. There's our vampire shots and, dialogue. Oh, this person's killed. Cool makeup effects, dialogue. You know what I mean? It's that atmosphere that's going to build it. That the trailer has it. But I know
there's a nice suspenseful atmosphere in the trailer.
Yeah, and that kid reminds me of, what is that line from Aliens? We better get inside because they come at night mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah, so that's the vibe I got from that, and that was a chilling line from Aliens back in '86. So I was like, that's cool. I love the idea that the kid knows more than everybody else, possibly. Like,
right.
What's going on and stuff.
It's like a little Stranger Things feel from that part of the trailer, where it's kind of like we got to band together against this incredible odds,
Yeah, and is that Ben Mears that getting whipped up into the air?
That sure looked like him.
Like, what is? How does
he get out of that?
Yeah, the scenes that are cut, you're like, man, it's too dangerous. Suddenly. So I'm like, oh man, what is going on? That's the only thing that'll mess me up is like, they're like, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to subvert the plot expectations. So we'll see what happens. And
thought they'll be cute and maybe, flip it on its ear or something like that.
Yeah. Like, are we going to get a final girl? You know what I mean? So are we going to get that where it's like, subvert expectations and stuff. Not that I have a problem with that. Like,
Nope.
a lot of your greatest
Right.
movies right now are coming out with like strong female characters and stuff. So
Right. If it's organic
Some
and
good
it's
ones. Yeah, real
done,
good ones.
yeah.
All right, fellas. I know we did more than just a reaction, but
yeah, well, we always do that when we get there and
I
stuff.
think we're
but
all pretty excited about it, and hopefully,
fingers crossed,
pays
folks.
off.
We're all we really want to pay off October 3rd again. That's what
Yep.
it is.
Yes.
So on
Right in
Max
time for
now. So and I'm sure maybe we'll revisit another little 10-minute thing after it comes
Oh,
out,
I'm sure
but-
we'll do a full review once it hits
Yeah.
All right, join us next time on the Fandom Outpost. And we would appreciate if you could like or subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. It gives us a lot of incentive to do more of these and have fun with our subscribers and viewers. And check us out on social media too. Our Instagram page is up, and we share a lot of stuff that we collect and what we like. And also our Facebook channel, which you can see what we post and keep up with what's happening in pop culture and movies and TV and stuff, and talk to us through there too. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bob.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mark.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.